Sid, I really don't want to do this episode.
Uh, yeah.
So today, it's actually the last episode we're doing on spilling the tea with F and B, because sad news, but happy news for Sid. She has decided to leave Fire and Brilliance to pursue a different path in her life, if you will.
Yes,
Right?
I'm on a journey.
Another journey, and so if you guys don't know, she's actually the first person that's joined our team, other than my wife and I, right? To help us about four
4 years now, yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, it's she's definitely seen everything.
I really
throughout.
have. I've worn so many hats in this company.
Literally.
It is strange.
Hat.
Huh. Maybe this is the first hat I've actually worn in the company, but yeah.
Yeah.
Metaphorical sense, many hats.
Right. So, I would have to say, I am very happy for you. That I mean, obviously, everyone has to do what they have to do in their lives, and when you decide that you want to move on, you want to pursue different things. I'm all for it. So this episode is dedicated to you, even though I don't want to create this episode. Because it's sad. I mean, we started this whole spilling the tea thing when all these other projects, even before spilling the tea, and to see you leave, it's just, I guess, an end of an era.
I'm just really honored that I have a whole episode to myself. It's great. But also, yeah, it's a incredibly bittersweet.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, a bittersweet goodbye, a bittersweet farewell. That like I have made such awesome friends out of you and Linda, and just watching this entire company grow from like a very small room with just the three of us. And
Yeah.
it was crazy. And I've moved like what, 4 locations now with you
We
guys?
have. In the last 4 years, we moved in 4 different locations that we may eventually move again in the near future out of this location. And we've been here for 2 years now, right? So,
Yeah, it is mind blowing how far we've come.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I mean, that being said, I would love to hear your feedback. Obviously, this is not rehearsed. This is very candid. And this is going to be as authentic as possible from, just a little bit of history from the time you started until now, and to kind of get your feedback as to what you've seen us do and, how you felt along the way, right? So, just share some stories.
Wow, this is like off script. No phone in here, guys, on this phone holder thing. I sincerely love this company. I think every time anybody comes in and we're like, recruiting, or we're looking for a new team member to join our wonderful work family, I get a little teary-eyed because it's, when I'm asked...
That's her honest truth, by the way. Every time we would actually interview somebody, matter of fact, when we interviewed EJ, he doesn't even know this, but when she entered the room to give me the feedback to the interview, she actually teared up.
I did. Hi, EJ. Working on sound right now. I teared up, and it's because I'm asked questions at the end of the interview, or I prefer to be. But the fact that I was asked, you've been with this company from the beginning. Like, why? What made you stay? And that, that is also a testament to like EJ's with his wonderful questions. But also the fact that why did I stay? And it's because this team has such powerful conviction in that they work hard, but for a reason, for a true purpose, which is to help people in the way that they can. And then like people stay after work several hours just to get things done, and get things done the right way. And it's genuinely to put the customer first. And I've never really seen that before firsthand from a company as, I would say, corporate as this, office, 9 to 5 kind of office. And that's where true passion lies. You're not just coming to work to sit at a desk for hours and hours and then just be a drone and then go home. It's really that you are almost working 24/7 because you want to be. And that is where I would say that's why I stayed, is because there's passion there, and I want to thrive with people who are truly believing in the same thing that I believe in. And yeah, I mean, for this whole company to just like grow in front of me like this was really a surreal moment to realize because we were 3 people. We were doing all of the things. And then, I mentioned this in a previous episode, one of the first episodes that we had actually, where I mentioned that, it was just me and Linda in a car just driving to lunch, about to meet with you, and she drives past this really big building, and she's like, it's Michael's dream to like have the company be this big with this many people so he can delegate all of these things, and then be able to help out even more people. Basically, this company is all about being on this journey with you, creating, concepts into reality that you will want to wear forever. And
That's right.
I think that's where my heart lies with this company, and why it's so very hard to create this episode, because I have no idea how to sum up all of my emotions and thoughts into a mere 30 minutes.
Well, I would have to say this. I definitely love your stay, this whole journey. You've definitely helped us grow a lot. You helped us grow in the social media aspect. I mean, as a matter of fact, just in case if you don't know the audience out there, she originally started with us as a designer. So she designed many of our pieces, and then eventually we create another position for her in a marketing media department, so that she can work on social media and hand modeling and on more of the artsy side of marketing, which she definitely has flourished in that department. So many of the times when people do DM on social media, it's actually Sid that's responding. So yes, she did wear many hats, and I'm so proud of the work that she's done here, that that you've contributed here. I mean, obviously you've done a great job. So I'm really honored to have someone as dedicated as you to our team over the last couple of years, because it means a lot to me. It means a lot to the business. It means a lot to the people that we serve. To me, to be honest with you, a business is not a money-making machine. A business is there to serve the community. And then the community, if they find value in that, then they'll pay you for it, right? When you joined 4 years ago, although lab and moissanite jewelry's been around for some time, it's the ugly side of the business, where there's a very traditional side, and then there's a very I guess the best way to put it is more of a modern side to look at things. And obviously, as well as I do, as we've been growing, that more of the traditional outlook is now starting to modernize. So in other words, for the people that used to hate on us, for lack of a better word, because we sell moissanite jewelry or lab jewelry because it's not natural, they're actually coming around to it.
They are.
Yeah, so matter of fact, the growth of the business has been so much, where I just came back from Las Vegas, JCK, which as well as I do, is one of the biggest jewelry conventions in the world, and now there's a whole section just dedicated to labs.
That is really awesome.
And I actually went to talk to every single booth that is a part of the lab business, and it's grown so much. It's incredible. And to see that you've been with us along with the ride. I mean, obviously we're a small part in the industry, but every contribution has created this growth. And the people that we serve see it, So, and we've talked about all the socio-economical issues and the financial reasons why people would choose a lab over, and even the ethical reasons, right? Which is the primary reason why people would choose lab over naturals. But that being said, it's just one of those things that something that seemed so bizarre before for people to kind of take a grasp that why would they buy that. Now they are more inclined to buy it sometimes than the actual traditional route.
The more they know about it.
Yeah, so to see that you've joined this journey with us here at Fire and Brilliance. I'm just so happy that you were part of our lives, my life, Linda's life, Fire and Brilliance's life. And then now that we've grown, and then obviously you want to continue with your life elsewhere, I really hope you all the best, right? And then just let you're always always have a home here at Fire and Brilliance. So that being said, why don't you share a story or two of your time here, or something that maybe you felt as if something that really touched you, in an incident or a project or anything at all.
Well, I don't know. It's so hard. He's putting me on the spot. We did not plan for any of these things. Okay, so
which was intentional, by the way.
It's just, I don't know. But as I've mentioned, I've worn so many hats, but it's because it's worth it. It's worth it not only to get experience, from a professional standpoint, but really that I love being challenged. I love being having things thrown at me, and that's why it was so fun to work here, is that there's always something to do. And one of the moments that really touched me when thinking about it is that when we were in that small office with just 3 of us, really
it was very small, by the way.
It was
it's about as big as this room.
Yeah, about as big as this room. Room is not huge. And so basically, at some point, I came to work, and it was after a day of, going shoe shopping. And I was looking from place to place, and I was just a lot of times I just go into a place and people just want to sell me things. And it just feels like they just want money from me. But I want information. I want to know, why are you selling me this? Why is it good for me? Why do I want to, invest into this, for a shoe that I want to wear for a long time, that'll last me, why? And I never got that until, I walked into some random store. I won't name any names here. I don't know, copyright issues. But I walked into the store that just sells, many brands, okay? And the person that worked with me was just mentioning hey, this is a great shoe if you're looking for this. This is a great shoe if you're looking for this. It just depends on what you're looking for. And then from there, it was you don't have to buy this from us. There are actually some stores, down, this way or whatever, that also have this available. But the fact that they were coming from a very unbiased as possible standpoint, but also give me information that is important to me, that I can hold on to and retain, that was super cool. And I went to work the next day, and I told you this, and it was just we had this very similar conversation a few days prior, about how you envision this company and how you would like to bring more value to the customer, and be different, provide something different than just companies that are just salesy the entire time. And when I brought this up, you're that's exactly what I have in mind. And this was before the F&B Geminar. This was before the showcases. This was before anything on YouTube that we have. And I did not foresee how fast we would approach this moment where we have a really good following on all social media platforms, including YouTube, where we're able to provide so much for the consumer that I personally would buy from us. Because I love the fact that we are willing to have you walk away with information. You can buy from us if you want to. You don't have to. But if you do, we love you for it, and we love the haters also,
Right.
It's all of that and all of the above. But that's something that touches me from the very beginning, when you had just said this as an idea. And it came to fruition, and we've created so much content since that we're constantly bettering ourselves, because of it. There is always going to be room for improvement. We're not perfect, but we're trying. And I think that's what I love about the company, is that we're always trying. And the fact that people now are in more of the know about a diamond alternative, or many other natural diamond alternatives that you can wear and it'll last a lifetime, or for however long you want, and it's something that allows you for more options in life, more options for more options, basically. And I think that's super cool.
And I think you're right. I think what we have created here, along with other, I would say, companies and individuals in the industry that have joined over the years, is that we've created a voice for a market that was always there, but there wasn't ever really someone that actually spoke about it. Right, and I think what we've done is really create a sense of consumer confidence for people to step out and say, hey, you know what, they're doing exactly what I believe in. And like you said, we're not perfect. We try every day. We try to be as unbiased as possible. We try to provide as much information as possible. But yes, you're right. I think the growth of and the progression and even the trajectory of the people that have accepted the types of jewelry in the industry that we're in has grown so much over just the last couple of years compared to the last decade or two is insane. I would have to say the adoption of it has grown so much, and I'm just so happy that you were part of that journey, because I truly believe that although Fire and Brilliance is only a small section of the overall lab created industry, I truly believe that we've created a very big impact. And for the followers that have followed us and spread the message of what we do, and for the people that have seen what we do and eventually created their own business out of it, I'm just really happy that we've created some kind of a movement together to really show everyone that it's okay to not be normal, right? It's okay to fight the status quo. It's okay to not only wear diamonds, right? You have
it's okay to go against the grain.
And I've mentioned this before too. It's okay to not even wear jewelry, and we're in the jewelry business. It's really just a symbolism of your love if you're buying it as an engagement ring. It's a symbolism of your love if it's an anniversary or a birthday gift or whatever. And if jewelry is not for you, then don't buy jewelry. And I'm saying this as a jeweler, right? So I think that movement, to be able to understand that for you to just be your own individual and to be yourself and to be mindful of your spending and to do all that, to take care of yourself first, I think is extremely important. And I'm really glad that you have joined us over the last 4 years to really create something special here at Fire and Brilliance. So, I mean, that being said, I would say that I would have to share a story too. So when Sid first interviewed with us, Linda and I were very particular with who we wanted to hire as our first employee. Oh yeah,
you just wanted to keep it in the family. It helped that I had the same last name.
So the thing was we had the position open. Sid came and interviewed in our smaller office at the time, and when I say small office, I really mean it's small. It was like a shoebox, all right?
With air holes.
So, that being said, I would have to say that Sid left a very good impression, only because she made sure that she didn't leave unnoticed, meaning she brought all of her artwork, her drawings, and all of that. So when I walked her out after the interview was over, she made sure she stopped me and said, "Hey, by the way, have you seen this?" And she showed me a few more pieces of the drawings that she had. So she wanted to make sure that she left a lasting impression, because that's extremely important when you interview. I would have to say that's very important when you have the opportunity to interview, is that you want to leave a lasting impression, because people are emotional creatures, right? And they're not going to remember that last, anyone that's boring or monotone or whatnot. I would have to say someone that has to stand out. So I would say
definitely am not monotone. I'm a cartoon.
Yeah. So I would say, that's a story that or that's something that happened to with us during the interview process that resonated with me. But yes, I mean you've grown a lot as a person, you've grown a lot as an individual, you've grown a lot as a professional over the years. I would have to say, you definitely honed a lot of skill sets in marketing as well as social media. I won't name who's going to take over your position just yet, but that person, I would have to say I have big shoes to fill. But I have full confidence. I have full confidence that he or she can do it. I understand that person's skill sets as well. So, that being said, is there anything that you want to mention at all before we go ahead and end this? And it could be anything. It could be whatever you've seen, the growth of the business, when us introducing our own products, how you felt along the journey. Maybe a bad story, a good story. It could be anything. It could be just anything.
Oh man,
this is your
hard.
chance.
Whew, okay.
This whole segment's or this whole episode is on you, for you. So, and then
I think everything that I have done, it was very hard to ever forget the vision, forget what we're doing this for. I think from from working on email campaigns or working on, redesigning the website or, working on a really huge launch of like a collection or line or anything or naming ring designs, drawing for the F&B Geminar, hand modeling. I never forgot why we're doing what we're doing, because if you have if you have the vision in mind, you do like 160% of your effort is going in there full-heartedly. All your sweat, all your blood is going into the work, and
right.
But in a clean way, not
in
a clean and sanitary way.
Oh yeah. Let's hope so. Especially when we're dealing with people's jewelry, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Triple check. I never ever forgot, and I think that speaks for a lot about you as the CEO, as the owner of this business, that we're trying our best to own everything from the beginning. We're trying our best because you can only do so much, right, in the jewelry business. But as a small business, I would say I'm very proud of where we've gotten. As far as stories tell, I have no idea. I mean, we live the story from day to day, so I have no idea.
Well, I would have to say this to follow up with your comment. This is something that I speak with Linda. Just in case you guys don't know, Linda does run the operations. She's my wife for Fire and Brilliance. And when I talk to her about, when we hire, now that we're a little more mature in terms of this process, I'll tell her, it's hard for us to expect anyone to come in and have the same vision and passion as us, where they're going to give it 150% every single day, because they are not the owners of the business, or they are not the basically the person with the vision. So I would tell her, it's okay but then we can't do everything on our own. Right, so I'll tell her we just can't do everything on our own. So it's just a team of me and you, meaning me and Linda. Then we will never get as far as where we want to be. So it's okay to hire more people that's doing at 70 to 80%, and to get more of that work done than to just have two people doing 150%, because we'll get burnt out. Now that's the mentality of hiring when you're an employer, but I would have to say that I think where Linda and I have been very fortunate is that the people that we've hired that is currently working here, we feel that is actually untrue. The people that we've hired do care about the business, and they do come in and give it 150% every single day, even though they are not considered technically the owner, but they care. And they work hard, and they put their head down, and they give it their all, and that's what I'm so proud of the team that we have here. Even though we're a small team, we get a lot done, right? And you've been a big part of that. So I'm really, again, I mean, I can't say enough. I'm very happy that you've been with us for these last couple of years. It's a sad day to create a segment. Just by the way, she named the segment. It's spilling the tea with F&B, right? So to end it this way, but it's also very. It makes me very happy to know that you've grown and you're ready to move on. So that's a good sign, because I'm not the type of person that will ever hold anyone back, right? So, but that being said, that's my feedback, and I know a lot of times, other than when we're at work, we don't get to talk much other than about work. So it's kind of cool for us to kind of just spill. I was about to say spill the beans, but spill the tea. Yeah.
It's spill the tea now. That's where it came from. Somebody spelled tea instead of beans. I don't know.
Right.
I would say I have very tiny stories that, are incorporated. Like, they're playing like a little video montage in my head right now that I wish to just send signal waves to the camera right now so you could get into contact with that. But for now, it's just a wonderful family-oriented environment. I know originally you guys wanted to keep it in the family, but essentially that's what you did. You built a family. And yes, everybody shares the same vision as you guys, and I think that that's where we pride ourselves in, is that, like, not every company can say that.
Right.
And it's just a wonderful environment to be in, where, like, everybody feels appreciated in some way or another, even though we all don't get to see each other every single day. Like, each department has their own thing to do, but we each come together for a very, I would say, kind of like a ceremony of celebration, where we have birthdays and we have, I would say it's kind of like a handoff, like a special handoff of the birthday card for everybody to sign. And I feel like that's a very, like, a cool little ritual for you to kind of get in touch with other people inside of the company. Although we are a small company and we don't talk very much, we are putting our hearts in, into whatever we say to this specific person, and then we celebrate them.
Right.
And I think that that's super cool, is that, like, everything that we do for each other, we mean it. And I feel like it is incredibly bittersweet to leave the company, but I am within the understanding that this company is going to thrive no matter what. And I feel like because the vision is there, shared by everybody, and they all flock like the same, like they're all on the same team. So heading towards the same direction, I feel like this team is gonna do great and do better and go on to even more awesome endeavors that I didn't even know yet. I didn't even expect for us to release our own brands of moissanite. How, like, that is nuts to me. I started not even knowing. I just thought, we were designing the jewelry, we were working with the customers, we were, designing the jewelry and setting, other brands of moissanite on there, and I didn't know how far, lab-grown, lab-created gems would go in the industry. I had no idea.
Right.
I didn't know about any of these things before I started. But the fact that we're here, and it's been, I would say, only 4 years, that is a triumph. That, like, you went to the JCK show and then saw all of these things that weren't available before in this multitude.
Right.
And more people are considering this because, like, we're in this day and age where you got to consider more things. You got to be a little bit more practical about stuff. And if you're into diamonds, that's cool too. But, life shouldn't be limited. If you're going to consider all of these things and aspects in your life that are important to you, you've got to I would say you've got to be very specific about things that you want to keep in your life, and I figure that if you have more options to choose from, that is a blessing. And you're able to have what you want and how you want it.
Right. And like I mentioned before, before the vehicle is created, I mean, people were riding horses too, right? So, and I'm sure a lot of people. So things change, and in the future it would be AI, and that's well, that's kind of crazy to think about too. But
I know it's crazy to think about now, but I'm sure like later on we're gonna have like I don't know, like a robotic arm and like, hey, hello, how you doing? And then like cure
of
sicknesses.
everything.
Yeah, cure sicknesses by just scanning you and then telling you like what's wrong with you. Here's what you need. You need a day of rest. That's what you need. Like, I don't know. It feels crazy to talk about now, but we have advanced so much in technology over the past few years where like it's not been so long since the first personal computer, and now we have phones.
That's right.
And now we have airplanes, and I mean airplanes were not within that short amount of time. But what I'm saying is
still
that
relatively new. You think about it, it's only like a little over 100 years. Right?
Yeah, we are capable of so much, and so I mean. And we grew so much as a company too in a short amount of time that I figure like it's just gonna skyrocket from here everywhere.
Yeah, so I definitely have big plans and big visions for the future. Obviously I don't want to talk about what my future plans will be right away. Well, here anyway.
A virtual experience to the F&B store?
That would be awesome.
That would be totally awesome.
When VR is up to speed and maturity, that would be an awesome idea.
And put on like a VR headset. I'm like, hey, that's Michael from Fire and Brilliance. I know him.
I'm like, welcome to my virtual store.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be weird.
But anyway, I do want to, again, let you know that thank you so much for your time here at Fire and Brilliance.
Thank you for spilling the tea with me.
Obviously. Yeah, me too. So I really appreciate everything that you've done for us, and I really hope you're the best in the future. And, definitely come by and visit when you are in town. And then, we'll let you know every time we, reach another milestone here at Fire and Brilliance, right? Because we're going to continue to move forward into the future and really do what we do best here, and that's really just to be who we are. And then that's what's been working for us, because the market find that to be very genuine.
I'll see you later. My name starts with C. See? I think.
See you later.
I personally think he hired me because I'm also a dad joke teller. He only tells people that are into dad jokes. Just saying.
That's true. That's true.
It is my job to tell dad jokes.
So
Did you think about that for a second? Yeah. Anyway.
All right, so that being said, let us know if you guys been following Cid, or you've been following the Fire and Brilliance Instagram channel. She's a person that was been charging for the last couple of years. If you've been messaging her through the DMs, there will be someone else who'll be taking over later on in the next month or two. And so just send her a farewell message. Whatever you want to say to her. Be nice. Don't be mean, please. Like, no hating comments, right?
I had to put up with a lot, you guys, but I mean that goes with growing
with the territory.
Business.
Yeah.
Growing with the business means you're gonna have love and you're gonna have hate, but we love you all regardless.
Right. Leave a comment below if you want a message, to send a message to Cid, and how much you've liked the segment here at Spilling the Tea. And just an FYI, there will be a new segment in the future. Obviously, I'll still be around. And we haven't.
He will remain Michael from
created.
Fire and Brilliance.
We haven't created that production just yet, but stick around. From now on, the showcase and the Geminar will still be there. The new segment will be in the near future. We're just going to end this specific podcast. Future podcasts may still be around, but it's yet to be produced, if you will. Okay, so
I'm excited to see new projects come out of you guys. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, that being said, thank you so much. Thank you, Cid, and thanks for tuning in. And I will see you later. Goodbye.
Bye. See you later.